As someone who's made over 7 figures online in my business, and as someone whose very first digital product made a little over 900K, and as someone who has built an audience of over 100,000 Instagram followers and tens of thousands of TikTok followers, let me say something that's gonna piss some people off. Social media is not required to build a real business. And in fact, for most people, it's actively holding them back because if social media worked the way that everybody says that it does, then you won't be burnt out, not making the amount of money that you want to make, and stuck in a perpetual loop of constantly posting content every single day and crossing your fingers and hoping that something finally hits. And before somebody jumps in the comments like, oh, but bro, social media built my business. Cool. So did cold calling, yellow pages, and fax machines for other people too. But does that mean that it's the best way to do it today? No, absolutely not. So in this video, I'm going to break down why posting nonstop is a trap, why most content is negative ROI, and the exact shift that will allow you to make less content and make more money. And it's only going to take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you are actively choosing to make more content and make less money. And this isn't going to be any theory. This is how I run my business. Let's just call it what it is. It is what it is. Social media is exhausting, and why is that? It's because of how the platforms are designed. So let's say that you're on social media, right? Whatever the social media is, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter or X, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Facebook, whatever it is. So most people are typically trying to post everywhere and be everything to everybody and be all over the place. But if you're sitting here trying to get to your target audience, and let's just say that this is your audience, well, for any of these platforms, you have to push the content to your audience. So most social media platforms are push platforms. And if you don't constantly push this content in front of your audience, then you don't exist. And when you do post this content, the content is dead within 24 to 48 hours. So what's the advice? Post more, post daily, post 3 to 5 times per day, post at the right time. You have to have harder hooks. This is the way to hack the algorithm. And it is freaking exhausting, and it's not a business model, it's a treadmill. And I'm talking about this from experience. When I was working social media, I used to post 3 to 5 times per day, and I had an infomercial strategy when I would post an additional 5 times per night, and then by 6 a.m. delete all those posts overnight and then post another 3 to 5 times per day while still going live damn near every single day. I'm like, this is exhausting. And if you want to get off the content creator hamster wheel, then you have to pay for ads. That's another strategy that people say. Well, just pay for ads so you can now pay to push more content in front of your audience. Well, it's all pushing stuff in front of people. And when stuff is being pushed in front of people, regardless, majority of the time, they don't want whatever is getting pushed in their face. So the mindset of somebody that's scrolling social media, for one, they're in a mindless state. They're constantly just being served content that they did not ask for. That's why they're just constantly swiping. And think about what people are doing when they're on social media. They're just killing some time. They're sitting on the toilet. They're waiting in line. They're driving, which drives me freaking crazy. And I don't understand why people do this. But they're sitting there driving while texting and scrolling their phones and looking at their timeline while they're at a stoplight or something. They're killing the time during a commercial break of their favorite show. And you're out here trying to get the attention of people that are not paying attention. And then you wonder why you don't make any money or why people don't buy your offers or your digital products. It's not gonna work. But you can change everything, and you can change it pretty quickly. So what if, instead of pushing all this content in front of people that are not asking to be served that content, what if you could simply attract that audience to you with your own, what I like to call, gravitational pull of influence? So instead of pushing your content in front of people and crossing your fingers and hoping that they see it, what if you could just attract the people that are already searching for what you already make? There's one platform for that, which is the platform that you're on right now, which is YouTube. So think about this. YouTube is not only the biggest streaming platform, period. Like, there's a good chance that you may be watching this on your TV because YouTube is taking over TV, like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all that stuff. YouTube is much larger. And YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet because Google, which is the biggest search engine, owns YouTube. And you type stuff into the YouTube search bar quite often, don't you? You don't really do that so often on social media. Now, social media does have search bars, but people aren't actively searching for solutions to problems in those search bars. But on YouTube, you are. And I even prove it to you with this. If somebody wants to grow on TikTok, where do they actually go to learn about how to grow on TikTok? They don't even go to learn that on TikTok. They come to YouTube for that. If somebody wants to learn how to build an Instagram page or Instagram theme page or a faceless Instagram theme page or whatever it is on Instagram, where do they go for that? They don't go and look on Instagram for that. They come to YouTube. Same thing with Twitter or X, same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with Facebook, same thing with Threads, same thing with anything. If anybody wants to learn how to do anything, they all come to YouTube for that. People don't come to YouTube to waste time. They come to YouTube with intent. Now, yeah, every once in a while, they may come to YouTube to waste time. But even when they're doing that, when you're making long form content, they're still actively choosing what to watch, which goes back into this gravitational pull of your content. They're being drawn to you instead of just something being thrown in their face. They're making an active decision to click on something and watch it. That's a huge difference. That person isn't scrolling, they're looking. And when someone is looking for a solution, they're closer to buying. That's the difference. And that's the biggest difference that most people can't see. So short form content, it can get attention, but long form content, it builds trust. And people buy things from people that they know, like, and trust. We're in the trust economy now. And trust is the key to everything. Because short form content, like these over here. All right, so check this. Short form content here, it can get you attention, yeah. But the main driver is this. It can get some people some dopamine, yeah. And it can get you some vanity metrics if you're in it to just be a content creator and just get a whole bunch of views. But views don't equal dollars. All views are not created equal. Would I rather have the view of some dumb, mushy brain person sitting on the toilet backed up from all that cheese that they ate over the weekend? Or would I rather get a long form view from somebody that will actually help build my authority, help build my trust, which, remember, I said this is the key, and help with my actual conversion to my offer? I'm going to choose this every single time. And this is coming from somebody, as I said, who had, at the time, my biggest platform, still as I record this video, my biggest platform on social media is Instagram. At the time when I quit Instagram without any audience whatsoever on YouTube was in 2023, and I had over 120 something thousand followers. I don't know what I have now because I haven't been on there since 2023. TikTok at the time I had 14 or 15, 16,000 followers or something like that. I quit social media 100% with all this audience and views that everybody wants so much, and started YouTube with nothing. And I'm very, very happy with my decision. Oh, and also I have a experience in paid ads also, because the most money that I've spent on ads in a single month is a little over $100,000. YouTube's way better too. And I get paid to build my income, impact, and influence from YouTube instead of me having to pay these platforms to build my income, impact, and influence. And on a monthly basis, on average, from my small YouTube channel, because I don't have the biggest YouTube channel yet, but just off the impressions that I get from my micro niche YouTube channel, on an average monthly basis, I would have to spend around $30,000 to $40,000 per month in ads for the same amount of eyeballs that I get on my YouTube videos. That's insane. I'd much rather put that money in my pocket and get paid than throw that money out of my pocket and hope to get seen. But remember, with this content, everything is about building your authority and trust. Authority plus trust is what equals your actual conversion of you getting the sale. Because remember, when the trust economy, and people buy things from people that they know, like, and trust. And think about it, in today's age, information is readily available. Information is free. Everything's Googleable and ChatGPT-able and Google Gemini-able and Grok-able and all the AI-ables, right? So answers are no longer valuable, but guess what is? Experience is valuable. Judgment is valuable. Your voice is valuable. Context is valuable. And that's where long form content wins, because you can't fake depth for 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. And buyers don't want creators. Buyers, they want guides that they trust can guide them to their desired result. Because even though the way to make money online is through a digital product, whether that be some type of ebook, whether that be a course, whether that be a community, whatever it is, that's not what's selling. What's selling is the result. So all that people want to go is from where they are right now to where they want to be. That's it. They want to go from their current situation to their desired situation. And this is simply just a result. Or better than a result, what I like to say, it's a transformation. So yes, informational, educational digital products, those are the only things that are selling, but it can't just be info. It has to be a transformational product. And people want to buy into people that they trust can provide them the transformation. This is what so many people are missing out here. They're thinking that people want to buy their stuff. People could care less to have more stuff. People could care less to have another ebook. People could care less to have another course. People could care less to join another community. But what they do want is that transformation, and they're buying into you first and into your product second. And that's why the fake guru will no longer be able to exist. Because how it used to be in yesteryear is somebody could have some money or have some credit cards or some type of financing, throw some ads, and whoever had the biggest ad budget could win, because whoever was loudest on the internet won. So you could come on, have a fancy suit, say some stuff that you just read in a book one time, and people would buy your stuff. Or you could have some fancy accent that makes you sound smart, but if somebody was to actually listen to what you're actually saying some dumb stuff. But you could just pay to push your content in front of people all the time. And then just off of sharing numbers, you will probably make some money. It ain't like that no more. And why ain't it like that no more? Because of AI. The AI is killing all the fake gurus because it is exposing the fake experts. Can't fake the funk. Because when everyone can say the same thing, the only one that stands out is the one who's actually done it. You don't win on being louder anymore. You win by being clearer. And long form content, it forces you to show your work. Remember when you were in school and you could just write an answer right there and the teacher would be like, no, show your work on the paper. I know me, I would be cheating. So I'd be like, I don't want to show my work. Look, the answer's right. The answer's right. Then the teacher would be like, nah, show your work. Let me see that you know how to come up with this answer. That's what AI is doing to all these fake experts all over the internet. And trust me, people, they can feel the difference immediately. Now, let me break down a big limiting belief that I feel like you may have, because most people have this. So they're always thinking that they need to have a huge audience. Well, most people that have these big audiences, actually, believe it or not, they don't have much money, because in order to make money online in your business, you have to be specific. And typically, when you have huge audiences, they're typically really, really broad and wide when they actually need to be really, really deep. That's what she said. But I would much rather have 1,000 people that are really, really tapped in with me, that all share a very similar painful problem that they need a solution for, than 100,000 or even 1,000,000 people that are just tapped in with me to get entertained. I remember years ago, back in 2023, when I made the decision to take my YouTube seriously and get off of social media, I was having a conversation with my best friend, and he was like, man, but what you gonna do with all this audience you gonna build up? You got 120,000 followers on Instagram. You got 15,000 TikTok followers. Like, what are you gonna do? And I was like, bro, I would much rather have 10,000 tapped in YouTube subscribers than 100,000 Instagram followers. And I proved myself to be right. And all the business associates I had made along that time of audience building and online business growth and all that stuff, they all said similar things. Scripts totally flipped. Now, when they're calling me and emailing me, and I'm sure they're DMing me, because most of them were just social media buddies, like we're not real friends. And I'm getting word from my actual real friends that they're like trying to get in contact with me. Hey, what's happening to Aston, man? I've been DMing him, bro, and been hitting me back. I remember when he's talking about this YouTube stuff a few years ago, and I need to see what's happening. Because a lot of people, they suffering behind the scenes. A lot of those people that were driving those fancy cars, you don't see them that much on social media anymore with that lifestyle marketing, do you? What happened? Well, dried up. They don't have any true audience. They don't have any true audience that trusts them. They don't have any way to actually show their authority than flashing some shiny stuff in front of your face. I see it all the time. Somebody that had recently joined my community, he just had a short form piece of content go viral. Like, it has, like, last time I checked, like 4 or 5 million views. Didn't make one single sale off of it. And that's when the light bulb finally hit for him, because he had been resisting what I was telling him to do. And then once he finally saw it for himself, he was so happy. He got that dopamine hit. Oh man, look at all these views. Oh man, look at all these followers coming in. Oh man, look at all this content. Look at all these likes. Look at all this engagement. I was like, all right, what that do for your business? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, yeah, so you might want to rethink that, and you might want to get in front of fewer of the right people that can actually buy what it is that you have to offer, that can actually help them get a result, than a whole bunch of people that literally just are getting entertained because they're making fun of the person who's in the video, because he has a service that he was talking about where you're basically tattooing hairlines into people, and all the comments are just young kids making fun of a grown man getting a hairline tattoo. That's not gonna help your business. You need to make some stuff that's gonna get in front of the right person, to whereas he was wanting to educate hairstylists, people that work in the cosmetic industry, on how they can increase their revenue per client by adding this additional service. That's what he actually wants to get in front of. So why not focus on getting in front of a fewer amount of people, but get in front of those right people, instead of trying to make something viral that's going to get in front of everybody. Everybody's not your customer. And that's most people's problems, is that they're trying to get in front of everybody when they're not selling something for everybody. They're selling something for somebody. So focus on getting in front of the somebodies. With this, you want to be a big fish in a small pond. That's where the money lives. And it's not about being everywhere. It's about building your own micro universe. And keyword on universe, because here, when I said that it's about having your own pull or your own gravitational force to bring in your audience, I like to use that word gravity, because if you create a solar system around a micro niche YouTube channel, to whereas if you can think about how the solar system really is, right? Every solar system has a major star, or our solar system is our sun, right? So your main sun or your main star is going to be your niche. And then what orbits around the sun, right? You have these planets. So let's say that these planets are going to be your content buckets, or the pillars, or the topics that you talk about. But I say you want to keep this between like 3 to 5, maybe stretch it out to 6 or 7 things, but you only want to talk about a few things. So if you use me for an example, I talk about online business and digital products, right? How you can make money online in your business through stuff that you know. Well, certain things that I can talk about, one of my videos may be about branding. One of my videos may be about marketing. One of my videos may be about systems, right? How you can create a system for yourself. And system, SYSTM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, to where you can do this work, create a system, and that system works for you 24/7, 365, so you get your time back and you make more while working less. One of my videos could be, let's just grab a different color real quick. One of my videos here It could be about, like I'm doing right now, it could be about content, right? Because so many people, they're scared to talk about their niche, or they're scared to actually niche down, that general advice to niche down, because they think that they're only going to have to talk about one thing. When, as long as you keep things in orbit of what it is that you actually talk about, you can talk about so many things. I could have another planet here that's about mindset, right? Because mindset is more important than skill set, but it's all around my niche. And then if you think about the planets, what do the planets have orbiting around them? You have your moons, right? And these moons are going to be the types of content that you make. And there's 5 types of content that you make. So these 5 types of content that you make, you can make content either answering questions. Oh, let me correct myself, because this is key. Answering specific questions, right? Because remember, this is all for a specific person. So answering specific questions. You can be teaching specific skills. You can be trend surfing. You can be influencer surfing. Or you can be storytelling, right? So with each planet, you will talk about one type of these videos. And this is how you literally create a solar system for yourself, to whereas when somebody does, when your avatar or your target customer does get in your orbit, they're going to stay in your orbit, and you get what I call the binge and buy effect going on. So say if somebody comes in my orbit here, in this video about content, they get introduced to my orbit. Well, as they're floating around in this orbit here, well, now they're going to be like, oh, now he's talking about marketing. Well, that's something that I need. Oh, this video is about mindset. I definitely do need that, because in true essence, I don't believe in myself, because I actually do have a procrastination problem. I don't really need to get more information, because I sit here and I watch YouTube for hours per day, but I just sit on my ass and I don't ever do anything. Why is that? Well, it's because I don't have belief in myself, and my doubt in myself, or all my preparation and learning, is actually procrastination in disguise. Because anything that I have 100% belief and conviction that I'm going to get my desired result, I never put it off. I don't put off sitting on the couch and eating snacks and getting fat and watching my favorite TV show, but I do that right now. But when it comes to following my dreams, my aspirations, and building my business, I always have to wait. That's some mindset stuff. Then they might be like, oh, this is some branding stuff. Oh, now he's talking about a system, right? They stay in this orbit that I've built for myself, and I don't have to make any content pushing stuff in front of people. They get attracted to my content, and once they're in my orbit, they stay there, because I'm constantly making the content that is only going to serve them. I'm only focused on them, not everybody else. And once you create this YouTube solar system for yourself, you can get a flywheel effect for your business. And this system, remember, system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, right? We create this system for ourselves around our YouTube solar system, to whereas now you know what type of content to actually focus on, right? With these moons here, for your pillars, for your niche. So now you know that you're only focused on the right person, which is your avatar. And you're only focused on making this content to whereas they will be attracted and get pulled into your gravitational force of your YouTube system. So now YouTube's algorithm will start to categorize your content, and you start to become a trusted authority within your space. And now, since YouTube knows who your content is for and how to properly categorize you, they start to use, or YouTube starts to use, its organic traffic sources, which will be the homepage, which will be the suggested bar, which will be search results, right? which will be external traffic. Remember, Google owns YouTube. You ever Googled something and videos pop up? You'll start to get external traffic. And external traffic also, people will start to share your videos. That little share arrow that's up under the videos, I get people to hit that little share button thousands of times per week. That's external traffic too. They're getting value, they're hitting the share button, they're sending it to other people that they think would get value from my content. Also, that's external traffic. That's another form of organic traffic. But YouTube will start to use all its organic traffic sources to get you in front of more people that fits your avatar's profile, that is going through similar things, similar interests, similar pain points, similar problems, right? So now you have your offer or your digital product for these people, which is how you actually monetize. And remember, we're selling transformational products, not just info products. So once somebody gets their transformation, they by nature will become an evangelist for you. When I say evangelist, I'm just talking about an ambassador. This is human nature. Humans, all of us, we're all alike. When we get something good or of good value, by nature, we go run and we tell other people about it. That's when you start to get these testimonials coming in, right? And even here, as far as the content, or how I said the organic traffic sources of, as far as external traffic, when I said that people hit the share button and they share my content thousands of times per week, right? That's an evangelistic effect. That's people being an ambassador for Aston CEO. You get the same effect when somebody gets a good result from your product or your offer, right? Which will lead to more people getting your offer. You get this flywheel effect. If you're not familiar with the flywheel, yeah, it may take some initial time to get going, but as the flywheel starts to go, it starts to get bigger and bigger and spin faster and faster and faster, and it compounds as it grows. And that is the simplest, most reasonable, logical way to actually make money and to actually build an online business and to actually get numbers coming in online in your business, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to actually build a successful business online, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Crowded at the Top community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But I'm telling you, YouTube changed my life. I'm so thankful that I made that decision when I did. And the only regret that I have is that I wish I made it years prior to that. Then in 2023. And I'm telling you right now, the best time to take your YouTube seriously is years ago. The second best time is right now, because it can change your life if you let it. And while you're creating this system, go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that will always sell within this system. It's Crowded at the Top.